All right, so these are going to be some no-bar Pyraminx walkthrough solves. No-bar scrambles, at least on 2x2, are usually a lot harder for people to find good solutions on, so no-bar walkthroughs are helpful there, so I figured I'd make some for Pyraminx as well. I don't think no-bars are usually as bad as they're talked up to be. It's just solutions are a bit harder to see. So first, I'll put all the scrambles in the description. So here's the first one. Okay. So for the first one, my strategy for no bars is always to see what can be solved in one move. So what pieces can I solve in one move? So there would be this piece here that I can solve to its center in one move. Also solves this center, very nice. Can also solve this here. Now notice both of those pieces I can solve in one move are blue. So that means blue is probably going to be a good option here. So what I would see is I can do L, U prime, B, R prime, and that makes my V. So that's just solving this edge, U prime, solving this into the back, B, R prime. And then you do L4E. All right, solve 2. Okay, so here what I would do is the yellow V, which doesn't look that great initially, but then if you look at just these, so if you cover everything else up and you look at just those edges, it looks like a sledge L4E. So you notice that, and then, you know, if you do sledge and U, it'll solve these two. But also because I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of Pyraminx solves, I know how sledge affects every edge on the cube. So this is going to move like an L prime U, and L prime U would actually solve this piece like that. And then I also know this piece is not going to be affected, and this is not going to be affected. And because of that, I know my L4E, I'm going to have to do a U prime, L prime, U prime, L, U prime. So then I'd start off doing the tips, sledge, rotate, L, then I'd solve my V that way. And then U prime, L prime, U prime, L, U prime. Okay, this is a tougher one, possibly, maybe. Okay, this isn't that bad. So what I would see here, nothing, I don't think any edges can be solved in one move, which is a little unfortunate, but in this case, it's not that bad. So what I see instead is there's these two edges here, and I just recognize this sort of pattern with the centers twisted this way. And again, this is something that I just picked up from doing, you know, an ungodly amount of Pyraminx solves. And with this pattern, I know my V solution, and then this is going to move like an R prime to here, and this is going to move like R prime, U prime, L prime. So this is going to get solved over here. This is going to be an insert away, and then this is going to move like a U prime, R prime. So I already know my L4E as well. You know, again, this is just, I'm going pretty quickly, but this is just, you know, stuff I picked up from doing lots of solves. So I'd start off doing my tips like this, and then my V solution would be R prime, L, U prime, R prime, L, and then you get your L4E, and you're done. All right. So how's this one? Okay, this one's not bad. This one's, okay, this is another one that's not bad at all. So here, this red-blue edge can be solved in one move. And then if you're doing the red V, you notice this can be solved in two moves. U prime, R prime. And whoa, 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 that U prime is also the move that solves the red-blue edge. So that's really lucky. And then, so you do it, and you solve your V into the back for, so you can avoid a rotation. And then the rest of your V solution, after you do those two moves, would be RB, and then, as planned, L3E. Solve 5 now. This may be slightly harder. I don't know. See if there's any other good solutions. Okay, so there's two solutions I see on this that I would consider. And the first one I'll show is on the green V. And so the V solution here would be LU to solve this piece, and that also gets this in a convenient spot to solve it. And then RL, or R prime L, sorry. And then you get this ML4E, which goes like that. I have a video on those algs with a banger thumbnail. And then the other solution I saw was on yellow to do U R prime U L. And then here, you know, you gotta rotate, and that's bad. So you do ML4E, which the alg is R prime U R prime L R L prime U R. And I like that out a lot. It's like that. So yeah. Okay, this is a good one. Ooh, okay, this is a really good one for walkthroughs. So here I recognize this kind of pattern as well as here. And then again, just from doing tons and tons of Pyraminx solves, I know a V solution to this, just, you know, and then I'd hold it here and go L prime, U prime, RL. But what you can realize is that all your V edges are in the bottom here. So that means that you're free to do U moves before your solution, and that can be a technique you use to force better cases, or, you know, maybe something more efficient, blah, blah, blah. You know, do as you please. And so you could do U prime here, and it gives a worst case, or you could do U, gives a worst case. You know, turns out that the best solution is just to do nothing beforehand, but the point is, you should be on the lookout for when you can do things like this to give yourself more options. And then here, I'd probably do an alternate alg like that. I think the solve would just flow a bit better with the alternate alg. All right. Okay, this one's a bit tougher. Okay, here we go. So on yellow, you can do one move to solve the centers, and then that gives you these two edges, which can be solved with a 3 cycle, like this. And then from here, you have 2 options. So you can either do your L4E first, which might be a bit tougher to see, and this would be a sort of pseudo V technique, or some people call it top, I don't know, it doesn't matter, it's, you know, still solving the Pyraminx. So you do L, U, L prime, U, and then cancel into a hedge, and then you rotate down and you have a 3 cycle. You could also just do your 3 cycle on the front like that, then rotate up and do your L4E. Either way, I think the solution is very good. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with either one of them. It just comes down to personal preference. So, there's a not terribly efficient solution I see on this one, but it would be finger tricky and forces an L3E. And then, yeah, nothing else that jumps out at me. So what I would see here is whenever you have this kind of block, you can solve this edge in 2 moves. So I would do exactly that. I start at this angle, and I'd solve my tips as I did the first move, and then solve this edge with U, L, and then solve it. And I would cancel into doing a sledge here, which forces L3E, and then do U prime, and then insert into the back. Okay, I believe this is the intended next scramble. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a crazy one. So let's get tips out of the way. I'd solve them like this. So this is going to be might be a little tough to follow, but I'll try to make it simpler. So I'd see that this edge can be solved back here with R U prime R, and then R prime U prime R, and then this edge can be solved with a U prime as well. But I'm free to do as many R moves as I want because this is not on the R axis. So I can do both. I can go to solve this, and it solves both. And then you would solve the V by doing L. But the ML4E alg here cancels a ton of moves. So what my solution would look like is R prime, U prime, L prime, R, U prime, L prime, U prime. So I'll go through it one more time. Yeah, so insert into the back, and then solve the V, but instead of doing that, cancel into the ML4E alg, like that. All right. This is the 11th solve. Yeah, this one's a bit tougher. I don't see anything right away. Okay. So what I'd notice here is if I do a U prime, then this looks kind of like the pattern that you get to solve a sledge, or a hedge, sorry. So if I did hedge, that would solve it. And I also realized that this piece needs to be solved to this slot once the centers are done. And I can start to do both of those with a U prime, and then R2 prime, L, R, L prime. And that solves my V, which isn't the greatest V solution, but bam! L3E. So then you go U prime, standard alg, no AUF. So what I would do on this one is actually two. Okay. The first solution I saw would have been to do the blue V and then something like this, but that doesn't give the greatest L4E. So what I instead saw to do, okay, it's on red, so it'd be to do the V by solving this edge over to here. So you do RU, or R prime U, but from the back it would be B prime R. And then that leaves this edge one move away from being solved. And then you can do L to solve the V. And then here you get a 6-move ML4E plus AUF. So you do 6-mover and then AUF.